Well, if it looks like I'm totally bewildered and beyond that, I am. Yesterday, I was struggling with some kind of domestic issue that will affect me a great deal down the road. Those who don't file get penalized. I was trying to focus on that a great deal. It's 7:16 in the morning. It is the day before tax deadline. It is Sunday, the 14th of April, 2024. Beleaguered, bejiggered, and bewondered Weaver Agency of Roseman, California. No grr at this point because I don't know how to deal with this one. Taxes are one thing. My mother, when she was alive, God rest her soul, God bless her soul, did the family's taxes for decades. She was a bit of a number skill. She also liked doing the crossword puzzles from time to time. She worked for different companies, being accountant controller, and she was good at balancing books and ledgers. She was in the time when they phasing out the punch cards and putting in the keyboards, and she was adept at it in her youth. Very scary these days. We've got online AIs out there to help people out try to balance and get the right information. When you're dependent upon somebody in your family trying to do the taxes and they're no longer there, kind of made me. I was learning as much as I could, but it's still complicated as hell. I'm a numbers guy. I'm not a numbers guy. What am I saying? A long time ago, I was a data pusher. Punched the buttons, put data in the systems. I wasn't a number cruncher. So she gave me the information. Fine, just go through the menus, go through the options, go through the disks. The various programs would load up into the computer and overload the damn thing. And keep making backup copies of all the information for a while, and after that, you know, gone. But this was. I was trying to get used to the online, trying to get back into the system, getting things going. The older I get, it's becoming more apparent that I'm still more dependent upon people trying to do the damn figuring and the calculations, not to mention the data pushing. It gets more and more complicated every time I look at something as simple, even an easy 14. 1040 would be like, huh? And I'm not doing it easy. I'm just doing the standard with deductions. And I had to figure out all of my deductions yesterday on this one. I really did. Medical expenses, school expenses. Was this considered school expense? Was this considered personal? Was this considered part of the medical expense? And I had to look at the stuff. Even for the amount of money I'm paying for what would consider be entertainment, okay, but it was also for a part of telecommunications because it was internet. And the internet, I'm using it for medical and school expense. So how does that work? During the COVID, it'll be a different thing altogether because during the COVID, I would look at the internet as well school, and then be medical, and then personal. How do I define that? And now it's more medical because I'm doing more and more communications with therapy on it. It's a hell of a distance between here and the doctor's office to get the therapy necessary. So do this. Not to mention having the internet connections to get information from school when needed. But yes, I also use it for entertainment purposes because I'm also watching news and other shows as well for entertainment. So when you have a one particular expenditure, how do you do this? And then there's the power for living expenses, power for the computers that I use for processing and visualizations and the videos and everything else. But I'm also needing the power to give me access into the internet so I can do that. Oy, there's only so much I can deduct. I mean, I can slam it in. I can need the power for medical expenses because I need to power the internet and I need to get in there. What about my phone? Is that also a medical expense or is this a communications device? It's a communications device. But I can also do the internet to get to my medical and school if necessary if we are doing Zoom. Again, most classes are not, but very few are. They do the hybrids. Kind of pisses me off when they do that. I mean, I don't mind if the teacher gives an option for students to do the Zoom at home. I don't mind that. I got used to that. But that's a thing for me to work out with. And then I had to look at my expenditures of stuff I bought over the year. I had to go through uh, places I gone through the mail orders mostly. I had to go through the bank statements. Reason why one gets hard copy versus electronic. I want to keep both versions. Balance each other, check each other out. And if I miss something on one, I'll get the other, I'll catch it on the other. But if not, well, something went down. On the news currently, they're still talking about what happened yesterday in Israel. It still freaked me out last night, and I was having a really bad conniption fit on this one. I thought I would just dealing with the taxes was bad enough, trying to get a hold of my tax guys. I'm still going to file. I'm still going to do it tonight. Not tonight, but I'm going to do it today. I got all the paperwork, hopefully necessary to punch the numbers in. But then trying to focus on if we're going to get into World War III, it's a different thing altogether. Hearing the news media talking with different U.S. officials, and then hopefully the Israeli officials trying to give us more information what the hell happened. What happened was a while ago, Israel attacked a post out in Syria. They actually had some Israeli military leaders, I think, but attacked in Syria, not on Iran's home soil. What does Iran do? Takes a few days, gets pissed off enough, and sends about a couple of hundred more rockets, missiles, God knows what else they got going over there, to Israel directly, to Jerusalem. And maybe some coming from Lebanon. Coming across Jordan, we had aircraft trying to put them down. We had the Iron Patriot system in Israel trying to shoot them down. We had U.S. military trying to shoot them down. Most of them got it. Except one hit, and a little girl was dead. She was rushed to the hospital. They were trying to stabilize her, but she lost her life during the night. Blood was shed in Israel. I don't know exact stories concerning about how and where. I know why. But her story should have been told. Just a casualty. Heinous stuff has been happening in Israel for months because of Hamas did their dumbass shit. Turning the world upside down. Everyone's world's upside down. Which side do you support? Which side do you curse? Israel went off on a deep end trying to rescue people left and right, but turned it into a military siege. People are still dying like crazy by by the thousands in the Gaza Strip, generating a hell of a lot of condemnation, both support and condemnation over it. Israel and Iran have been enemies for ever since Israel's creation. Iran wants them dead, period. What Israel did, Iran said they have a victory. They took the life of a little girl. It was a mass casualty. They knew the missiles weren't going to get through much, but it just caused one person to have a bad day forever. It wasn't a success in Iran. An innocent died. An innocent girl. He did nothing to you. She died because of your stupidity with Iran, with Israel, and Israel with you. I got a feeling if somebody's going to be a war hawk in there really bad, I want to get revenge. It would be forcing Netanyahu to come up with a military contingency plan. He can't do a land war on you. So we might as well find one of your sponsors out there, or sponsees, or whatever the hell you call the schmucks. Blow them to hell. Problem is, Israel doesn't have the manpower for it. Maybe the missiles, but they're also got to take into consideration that if Hezbollah gets into it, I mean royally get into it, it's been reported by others that Israel would be facing a worse nightmare than they're causing anybody else for that matter. Yes, it was tragic what Hamas did. We can blame and point the fingers all throughout time at this point over here, but they can't even find a way to solve this damn shit. And now we got it even worse conditions than anything else. And all we keep hearing is, what are they going to do next? And I don't know. Watching the footage left and right about the missiles not even touching the ground except in pieces. Damascus, Syria. Had an embassy blown to hell. Israel takes the credit for it. Hamas was sponsored by Iran. They got to hit Iran one way or another. They hit them. And Damascus. The Iranian embassy blows the hell up. And it takes Iran a couple of weeks just to be pissed off enough to formulate something to launch a missile strike on Israel. One little girl dies in the process. I know, I could be saying something about the Iranian embassy at that point. But Israel's way is saying they're going to fight back with everything they've got. And they'll be wanting more support out of us for defensive. We defended. The United States tried to defend by throwing our guys into the mix, launching missiles and having aircraft intercept missiles, along with the Jordanians. And it's getting worse and worse. Which makes me wonder what's to worry more about an upcoming World War III or the damn taxes that are due for tomorrow night before midnight. I have the material. I have the necessary paperwork and the numbers for it. I need to get it done today. I am in emotional crisis right now because I'm seeing this happen. spoke with a clergy about it. Sent a couple of videos to him. I needed to get some spiritual guidance out of this. Praying up a storm. Hoping that we wouldn't get into this situation. We're getting into this situation. If that wasn't fun enough, out in Marina Del Rey, California, we had a nut job who wanted to post on the internet live. He's going to fire off an assault rifle just for the fun of it. Haven't identified the lunatic. And the cops were around, and the cops had a duck. The guy was just firing off random. People were running and ducking in cover at this point. The guy's going to be facing some felony at this point, not misdemeanor. It's one thing discharging a firearm, and he was doing that. But if the cops are ducking for cover, and if there's going to be evidence that the cops were really in danger, that's up to a felony at that point. They got the guy peacefully in custody, and they're still investigating, collecting all the evidence pictures, trying to make sure to get an ironclad case against the shooter. He's probably looking at 5 or 10 at this point. Not months, but years, in my estimation. And if that wasn't golden enough, how about Google shutting you guys down out there? If you're in California, you've probably been part of an experiment maybe in the past month or so, because there's a California Assembly bill going through right now. Still in determination whether or not if the corporations that deal with the internet, including Meta and Google, that we depend upon our news sources, and news sources depend upon them, are going to get taxed. Simply put, capitalism, corporatism, whatever the hell you call it, the internet is here. But it's also taking out a lot of news organizations left and right. It has taken out a lot of new organizations left and right. Those who couldn't be merged into another company faded in history. Those who've been out there for decades, maybe a century or two, gone. If they can't keep up with the payments, they're history. LA Times is one of those companies struggling for survival. It goes to another benefactor for help, and the benefactor is saying, why did I take on this damn debt in the first place? LA Times already lost one famous business journalist, and he's part of the KTLA family. You've heard of David Lazarus? He's been out there for LA Times for decades doing the business stuff. Now he's doing the business stuff for KTLA, which is known nationwide, internationally too. They happen to get the internet on that one. Through different through media platforms, they can get that information, including Google and Facebook. So imagine if you're part of California. You're part of those select people who can't get enough or can't get any California news through your news apps or wherever you're trying to get it. Blame Google and Meta. They're pissed. They're doing experimentations to see people's reaction. When the bill hits, how the major players going to react? They're going to get taxed. It's bad enough Uncle Sam is saying we want your tax money because we need to help stabilize the national economy. Sorry. Now they're going to get taxed again, possibly, because you just killed off a lot of the news people left and right out there and taken out their jobs, their livelihood, their companies left and right. People have been out there for decades or centuries. Was it fair? Nope. Is it fair for any of them? Nope. Problem is, when we invented the internet, we didn't have an idea how the hell this was going to be. This wasn't a 20-year or 10-year thing. This was like maybe 40 years, roughly. Originally, it was supposed to have been some kind of government communications, just in case primary went out, we had the internet. Then it went public. Then it went commercial. And when it went commercial, all hell broke loose. Everyone got into it. Everyone thought it was fun, open, wide. These days, it's taken out left and right. It's taking people out left and right. What was printed, what was on paper, now zeros and ones. Artificial intelligence. And those who are making the news can't make the news anymore. Try to find the news, artificial intelligence does that for you. Technology is caught up, catching up worse, and we're depending upon it worse and worse. To the point that we're probably wanting the internet into our skin. Hello, Borg. Wearing this shirt for about a couple of weeks already. Haven't showered in a while. It's not that I'm in a marathon for the clothing. So I plan on taking what I need to take care of. But this is just insane what's happening these days. Rainstorms hitting the Southland again this weekend. Like it hit last weekend and the weekend before. Probably hit it again next weekend. And it'll be giving me a visual representation of how much heaven's probably pissed off at us because of a lot of crying. Maybe thunderous crying. Heavy duty sobbing and stuff. Got politicians freaking out because of meteorology and geology at work. Freaking people out left and right. Trying to gather as much support as they can, scaring the hell out of people and being Chicken Littles left and right. I thought Chicken Little was just a story. Somebody even tried to make it into a damn cartoon where Chicken Little was a hero. This? You kidding me? Throw a religion into the thing. Trying to tell people that if we don't do it this way, we're in trouble. We're in trouble with our spirituality. We're in trouble with our faith. We're in trouble with what's above. If that wasn't bad enough. And at this point, I'm still trying to understand what the hell happened. A war cabinet is underway in Israel right now. Trying to decide what their next move is going to be and what are their options. Depending upon the Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, of how he thinks he should react. If he doesn't have the resources, he may have to wait on it or pull resources back to throw up a response. And then hopefully his so-called allies out there, including the United States, will give him enough to get his job done. People in the White House are having a conniption fit over the damn thing. Congress is still having a conniption fit. There are still warmongers and there still want blood. And others are trying to say, will you knock this shit off? We don't need to continue this. We can defend. Yes, we can support the defense. But we're not going into the war business. We've already done it. The question is, was this response from Iran needed? 200 or more missile strikes on Israel, and they call it a success, and then they say, okay, no more. As if they were trying to prove a point. They can scare Israel. Israel's not going to be backing down on this one. They already told Biden, screw it, politely. Just how the hell we're going to be able to get through this damn thing is another story altogether. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting weekend, isn't it? If I happen to get past Monday, get past the taxes without having a heart attack or a conniption fit or even a stroke, if the world doesn't blow itself apart with nuclear missiles flying to and from everybody, if my dog doesn't die, she's not dying yet, but she still scares me sometimes. Maybe I'll have a better day, but we'll see. How my dog? Some nights she's actually able to run around. And there have been a few times she's been walking around just whining, waiting for me to pick her up. She'll go on the couch and whine at me. And nothing's wrong. She just wants my attention. I'll be ready to go to bed, ready to sleep. And she's still sitting, or actually standing, and can't get the covers on her. She'll still whine. Even after I'd taken to put the covers on her. She'll go out, get some water, come right back, stand and whine again. I'm asking myself, what are you doing? What are you doing, Mom? Why are you doing this? Give her a hug, give her a pet, give her a smooch, bury her in the covers, try to go to sleep. She'll whine again. She stood up. I got lights on. I'm sleeping with lights on, Christmas lights. And they're supposed to help her, not me. But at nighttime, I feel like I'm starting to dread the night more and liking the light a lot more. I mean, I can still sleep through it. But this is still. So I'm still hanging in there. She's still hanging in there. I keep thinking, was this a real mistake for me to get out of college for a semester again just to take care of her? And I think, no. If I had to keep asking myself that one, then I probably had doubts about Mama's health. If she was going to be healthy enough, fine. But maybe it's my own damn fear of completing college, or maybe it's my own damn fear of losing a family member. It's got me contained. So I have to keep an eye. So that's my Sunday this morning. How the hell is yours?